morning, everyone. I'm on my way to work. It's still dark out a little bit. I had an important message to say, and as I'm driving, and even now I don't know how this is possible, but right now there's a large cloud of a skeleton in the sky. But this cloud, before it became a skeleton, I can't even believe it myself because of the message I was going to say, but it was like a wolf or a fox chasing what looked like either a sheep or a rabbit, depending on how you looked at it. And now that fox had a snake's tail, though. It didn't end it was the face of like a wolf or a fox with like the ending of a tail. It had two front feet and then like a snake's tail. Now, I don't know how it happened that fast because clouds don't usually morph that fast, but now it looks like a skeleton. But the purpose for my video this morning was number one, just to say hi to everyone, see how everybody's doing. I finally got some rest this weekend. Had the whole weekend off, so that was awesome. My dad had gotten in a car accident, and he was rear-ended by somebody doing 40 miles an hour while he was at a complete stop, and he got a concussion. But the person that hit him was actually somebody that he was going to court with. It was their son. He was going to court with them because they're suing him, saying that he didn't do all this work, which he actually did do. And I would say if it wasn't true, but there's some complications with it. I don't want to get into that part, but it's very strange that the person that hit him was the son of the person that's taking him to court. So he asked for an extension because of that. Not really mentioning who or why or the circumstances, but so we had to go there and get him some like herbal remedies and things like that to make him, he really isn't thinking clearly. He still has a concussion. He can't really talk that great. He's like almost 70, I think. And so there's two things today I wanted to talk about before I get into that. This morning I opened up the Bible and I opened up to, I believe it's in Roman numerals because it's my old 1827 Bible from Boston, and it says like Roman numerals like CV2 or something, which I believe would be like Psalm 107. And it was very strange. Again, this morning I was just staring at my picture on the wall of Jesus calming the waves with his disciples while he's in the boat. And I apologize, this is the bumpy road coming up. So I'm staring at this picture, and it just like making me think that God has the power to even calm the seas. And this psalm that I was reading, the introduction says this is like a prayer for and a rejoicing for the people that are seamen and workmen and all the people that work upon the oceans and different people like that. And I don't know if this introduction is in all Bibles or not, probably not, but it was pretty awesome. And then I'm reading into it, and it's describing how the Lord does calm all the waves, which I've mentioned many times on the channel is a metaphoric meaning for the winds and the waves is like the doctrines and the false doctrines and the people that are spewing false doctrines. And sorry about my phone. And so it's kind of odd that I'm reading that after I just looked at this picture in my room. I opened up the Bible to this. And so as I'm reading further into it, I actually found the verse. I didn't know that this was the verse, but it says, "Praise be to God who breaketh the gates of brass," and all this stuff. And the way that it's written and what it's talking about is something that didn't actually happen during David's lifetime. And like a lot of things that David says are prophetic, speaking about Jesus coming as he's his son. Like, technically, Jesus is like the great, however many generations down grandson of David. So David produced Jesus Christ, and also Mary, and I believe Joseph the carpenter came from David's line as well. But as mentioned, Joseph and Mary never had any sex, so she died a virgin, and Joseph never slept with anyone after his wife died. He was a widower. So, and I'm stuck behind 2 tractors right now, if anybody's wondering why I'm going so slow. Oh good, they're going right. That's awesome. So, isn't it interesting? It's prophetic that David talks about Jesus coming to save all the people that are living in the valley of death. We're in a valley of death right now because we live on the flat plane of the earth. And whenever you read in the Bible, it talks about how hell is underneath us, everything that is beneath the earth. It always says beneath the earth. It never says like inside. It says beneath, because the earth is built on foundations, and those foundations are what heaven is resting upon as well. Whatever these foundations are that God has built the entire system upon, it sits upon nothing. He laid it just like a house. Like, I don't know if you've ever laid a foundation for a house, but you can't build anything until the foundation is completed. And heaven and earth are built upon the foundations that God laid. And he just happened to be born unto a carpenter and learn those skills. So that's what I read this morning, is that prophetic thing. And then David, in the Gospel of Nicodemus, David actually tells you his prophecy as he's in Abraham's bosom, which is right inside Hell's Gate, which is like not the place of like specifically torment. It's just darkness, and it's like a waiting place where you have to wait. They all had to wait. Everyone had to wait except Enoch and Elijah. They're the only 2 people that didn't have to wait for Jesus to come and save all the saints that came before us. And in my opinion, that might be why the Bible talks about first fruits and things like that a lot, stuff like that. But we don't realize that, like for instance, John the Baptist says the axe is already laid at the root of the tree. Well, that tree is the people that understood the parabolic meaning of the Bible at first. And they knew all the books, and they read Enoch, and they knew all the meanings of things. And then it was lost. But it was meant to be lost. Excuse me. It was meant to be lost until the future time. And so, there's 2 other things I wanted to talk about today that are separate from that. And again, I apologize for all the bumps in my voice, which keeps going out for some reason. It's kind of weird because I've been talking all weekend and I didn't lose my voice at all. So figures happens when I'm trying to speak to everyone else. Hold on, I might be able to tighten my phone. Wait 1 second. Alright, so there we go. 2 things I wanted to mention real quick. Both of the things I'm mentioning right now, I had mentioned to Jackie almost 3 months ago, and then certain people that are just regular people, not Christians, not anybody specific, not into anything like, you know, that we talk about, they mentioned it too. So that's why I'm bringing it up now. But if you haven't heard this, people are now talking about the fact that if you look at a map that shows the shipping containers that are surrounding America at this very moment, those shipping containers, which are all from China, are in places where there are no ports. If you have heard certain prophecies from children that were dying that told about the end and things that are coming and all the different things that are going to happen in the world, they talk about how China will invade America. And we just happen to have a false president that wants that to happen. On the board of all of the different pharmaceutical companies are members of the Chinese Communist Party, up to 70 to 80 members of the Chinese Communist Party. So think about that, and I won't go into that, but think about that for a minute. Now think about the fact that we are coming upon Halloween. And in Halloween, one of them, I don't remember which, and I don't watch horror movies, but back in the day it was on TV when I was a little kid, and I remember this, and I thought it was really weird, because Halloween specifically was like Michael Myers wearing a mask or something like that, and I don't know a lot about this, so I'm just going off what I know. It was like a white mask, I think, and you see him in people's yards, or people wear him in their car and like make videos about it and act creepy and weird and stuff. And this specific Halloween movie, though, was about like all these masks that were sent to children, and if you watch a certain television program during Halloween, it uses a microchip that's inside the mask, and it fries all the little kids' brains or something like that. And I always thought, I was like, that is so weird. That is just so weird that is the movie. It bothered me my whole life. I don't know really why. But think about what we're going through as a world. Think about what they're about to do regarding children soon. And then think about, I don't know if you heard this or not, I think Jody sent it to me, but my son says 29 all the time. He just says 29 all the time. I don't know why. He sees it on clocks, he sees it everywhere, and even now he says it. And I was like, well, I've always thought something was going to happen on September 29th, but it didn't. Well, it is actually. It's just not the Gregorian calendar. Jody sent me something that it's going to happen this year on the Enochian calendar for September 29th, which is actually October 29th and 30th, which is Jackie and I's anniversary. And me and Jackie met at a Halloween party, but we were the only two people that were not dressed up. Jackie just had her 30th birthday, and she now will be having her, I think it's our 11th or 12th. It's our 12th year of knowing each other and our 11th wedding anniversary, I believe, this year. So the people that, going back to the other part, that's the end of what I was speaking about the Halloween thing. I just wanted to share that information with you. Just let you know it, do what you want with it. Maybe you've heard something else. You can comment in the comment section and let me know what you think. But regarding the people talking about the container ships, most Americans, they idolize things. There's even comedians that talk about how Amazon Prime is like now so fast that it's like, oh, I want you to chew my food for me. Like, I want you to put the food in my mouth and then chew it for me. Like, kidding around, saying, like, because Amazon Prime, you can get it, like, next day. Like, I want it now, I want it now, I want it now. And that's how people are. They want stuff. And if you notice, all the grocery shelves are now, in certain areas, they're starting to be depleted at a rapid rate. Once that happens, it will be fast. If these container ships don't resupply those things, it'll be fast. And I also mentioned that my neighbor has a problem that he throws up. He was in Fallujah and he throws up if he doesn't have concentrated marijuana, which is like 80% or something like that, or 90%. He throws up constantly. It's the only thing really keeping him in a state where he can function daily. And it's not made up, and it's not like he's just doing it to get high. He's not. And he couldn't smoke because he ran out of propane tanks, which is what he uses for his torch to light this thing. And the grocery store was empty, so I went and grabbed him one because I have some. But that point of what I'm saying is, if you need medications and things like that you're going to need forever, you should probably get a supply that's going to keep you going for quite some time. And they're supposedly November 1st going to start rationing salt at the grocery store. I knew this was coming for a long time, so I'm not worried about it, but if you don't have salt, you should get some salt because you need it to survive. You need iodine to survive. It has something to do with like the glands in your neck, and those same glands in your neck or whatever they're called, I forget the name of it. These glands are also what helps you to like fight off like a nuclear fallout and stuff like that. Like if that happened, it's like your only defense against something like that. And I used to know way more about this. I just forget it all. Life happens. So the people that were talking about the container ships, and I'm saying it as if, like, wouldn't it be crazy that people that are idolizing things, becoming like so materialistic, and actually people worshiping idols at their churches and then going out and only caring about things and not caring about people and not caring about, you know, your fellow neighbor. Wouldn't it be interesting if those people are just surprise attacked, thinking that these container ships are full of their supplies to continue on in their materialistic nightmare? Wouldn't it be insanely ironic, or whatever the proper word there would be, if it's a Trojan horse and it's really the Chinese army? What if it's not even the Chinese army? What if it's just the Chinese army's supplies? What if they're dropping supplies for when they actually do invade by air? I guess recently one of our defense secretaries or something quit because he said that China's artificial intelligence is so much better than ours that it's like pointless for him to even try to compete with them. Also heard a while ago that Russia's like battleships and stuff, even though we have more than them, they have a machine, whatever it is, that it's like an EMP, that it can like target EMP our ships, and it totally incapacitated one of our battleships or something like that, and that we just went crying back home. And nobody talks about this. You'll never hear about it in like a news briefing until 70 years later when it's declassified and we're all speaking Mandarin, living in those ghost cities in China. So this isn't like to scare anybody. It's just to tell you, like, tell you the truth, tell you what other people are talking about, and just say like do you have the kind of faith to like live in a lion's den? Like, do you have that kind of faith? Because it's hard to have that kind of faith, and I'm not saying that I do. I'm just asking. Because if you don't have that kind of faith, you really need to pray. And something happened to my car the other day. I don't know what it is. Something's clinking under my car, and I'm driving it right now, but it's like clinking. And I was nervous to go to work. I was nervous about how I'm going to get to work. I was nervous about a million things. I was like worrying, think I got to get a rental car and do this and that and other thing. And then I just prayed about it. And I'm not worried about it anymore. You know, I don't know. Just ride it till the wheels fall off, I guess. But, you know, I'm not immune to the things of this world. I'm just trying to have a conversation saying, like, these are the things that are out there. If you don't know about them, I'm telling you about them. And a lot of people share stuff with me I had no idea about, you know. But the kids that were talking about the placement of the ships that are container ships and stuff, they're like, this kid was just going to like a professional motocross competition in like Mexico or something, and the Mexican people, they didn't even have any idea there was container ships off their coast, because they don't really get their shipments that way specifically. Like, the places that the container ships are in are not places where there are ports. So yeah, fine, they could be in a line waiting. They could just be waiting off like further out because they don't want to deal with like having to move the ship or drop anchor. I don't know a lot about it. I'm just saying, isn't it a little odd? If China did come here, wouldn't they probably try to take over South America and North America? They already took over Canada. They're already there. There's already UN troops in Utah. So I'm just saying, if all of these things are being noticed by people that have no idea about the Bible. They don't read anything prophetic. They don't know about the future or the past. They don't care. But they're noticing these things, then we should probably be noticing these things so you can warn your family members and tell them this is coming, and like just maybe one person will wake up. Because I didn't mention this, but I've mentioned it before on the show, is that my parents don't listen to me when I tell them anything. They kind of shoo me and like quiet and be quiet, and you know. And the reason that I didn't hang out with them for a month, my parents, is because my brother was like acting a certain arrogant way, and it like drove me nuts because I had just mowed the entire lawn for my parents and and whatever, and then my mom defended my brother, and she usually defends my brother, and it's fine, I don't care about that, but usually when I speak about these things, she goes shh, 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 because my brother is in the other room, and she doesn't want me to say it in front of him because he gets nervous about it and has like a panic attack anytime I mention stuff like this. You know, now he starts sending me TikToks about it, but when I actually mention it regarding the Bible, when I bring up the Bible and how it relates to what's happening right now, he has a panic attack about it because he has a 1-year-old or whatever, which is understandable. I'd be afraid too if I was just waking up to this stuff, but I've been telling people for a long time and they didn't choose to wake up. That isn't my fault. If you want to sit and watch Marvel movies all day and watch Netflix all day and just chill and not figure out the answers to like everything going on in the world, then do what you want to do. It's not my life, it's your life. I don't care what you do. I'm just trying to tell you that it's true. I'm just trying to tell you what's happening. What you choose to do with that information is up to you. But anyways, so went back, brought my dad a leather chair that I found that was a recliner, and it's like mint condition. Gabe Nash was comfortable sitting in his house, and Jackie, my wife, made him like a PowerPoint presentation she printed off at Staples of which medications to take, because she used to work for a holistic medicine doctor, like which ones help with the concussion, which ones help with memory loss, and all this stuff. Nicest thing I've ever seen somebody do for someone. And so we brought my brother birthday present because I missed his birthday, and got my mom some pink slippers and I don't know, just stuff like that. And it was really nice. But my parents actually, when we were sitting down, they didn't tell me to be quiet. They didn't tell me to stop talking. They just sat there for about 30 minutes and listened to everything that I had to say about the world. And the fact that the reason that all this is happening is that the line of Cain is trying to change everybody so that they are not two races, they're one race, that we will be one race. That's what they want. Lady Gaga said it on TV, and she's powered by demons. That's what they want. That's why they destroyed the 2 towers and made one tower that happens to look like something like, you know, something that you would use at a hospital, and that's what they're doing this for. That's why 9/11 was predicted in the Mario Brothers movie that is about a lizard race and an ape race. And we are not apes, but that's what they're portraying in that movie. They said there was a giant cataclysm in Mario Brothers, and John Leguizamo, the actor in that, and the other dude, the other actor that's in that, they're all into bad stuff. Like, you wouldn't make it that long in Hollywood if you weren't into bad stuff. And John Leguizamo was actually a demon in the movie Spawn. One of the first movies that he was in that. He was also, John Leguizamo, who was in that, was also in a movie with Wesley Snipes and the guy from Dirty Dancing, I can't think of his name, where they all dressed like women. And Dave Chappelle wouldn't dress like a woman, and then all of a sudden he gets cloned. So why do you think that happened? They want you to push this agenda of taking away the masculinity that God has made for Adam's race to be. And let me tell you something. When people look at me, they speak to me and act like I am masculine. They're like, oh, tough guy, oh, this. People call me big guy, tough guy. I don't do anything at all to act tough, be tough, like act a certain way. I don't do anything like that. But people say it to me all the time. The guy I work with that looks like Joe Biden, I just pull up like this with my sunglasses on in the morning. Walks over to my truck, And he goes, man, you really look like an Australian movie star with those sunglasses on. You really pulled it off well. And just walks away. I'm like, what the heck was that, bro? It's like way too early for this right now. What is he talking about? Whatever that is, whatever the masculinity that God has made men to be, that thing is something the devil hates. It is something that he absolutely hates. And they're trying to get rid of it right now. So stand up, be a man, tell everybody no, you're not touching me, you're not touching my family, and think about who did these things I'm speaking about. It's all the great men of the Bible did what I'm talking about. Say no. This is my family. We will serve the Lord. Don't touch me. Don't come near me. Don't do anything to me. And if you die over it, then die over it. Take your stand. We all need to take a stand right now. We all need to serve the Lord. We all need to have the power that he has given us come through us and be seen by people. Be the light of this world. Be the salt of this world. And salt is irritating. Be irritating. Don't go along with it. You see what I'm saying? Maybe it goes back to when Satan wouldn't bow down to Adam in the first place and was kicked out of heaven for it, because Adam was made in the image of God. And Michael and all the other angels were bowing before Adam's, image, which was a light being originally. And Satan said no. And then God asked the 600 angels underneath him, are you going to bow down to the image of God? And they all said no. Said, no, we will do as we have seen our leader do. And that's who is here now on this earth, running this earth, and they have children. And those children are the race of Cain. But they won't win. They won't win, but it's going to be a bloody battle. So gear up, get ready for it. Prayers for Rob Skiba and his family. I pray every day for them, and I hope that Jesus bring him into his kingdom and that he has peace. So God bless you guys. Thank you for listening to this, and I hope you all have a great day. Hope to talk to you soon. Take care.